Hello, this is Rogue One Radio. I am one half of your host team tonight, Steve Long, and with me coming from his car is DJ. Can you hear me okay, DJ? DJ, can you hear me? He might be cutting out. All right. Well, this is episode 59. We plan is to do some.
Give me
sort
one
of
second, trying to work out the
special.
bugs here.
And we're going to talk about vampires and zombies tonight. Later on in the show, we have a listener chosen favorite horror movies. The idea was to do a top 5 horror movies, but we got I got so many different entries that I did not get enough to for a top 5 to be part of the equation. So I'm just going to list what you folks voted for and see how that works. But that's later in the show. Main topic tonight is we're going to talk about, like I said, vampires and zombies. We're going to be talking about all aspects of vampires and zombies, be it movies, TV shows, video games, comic books, whatever we want to talk about. And glad you're here with us to talk about this. Got Ashley and Brandy in the chat tonight. How's it going there, Ashley and Brandy? Good to have you in the chat with us tonight. DJ, can you hear me? Well, I'm going to wait for him to bounce in, but I'm going to go ahead and jump into some news while we wait for him to go active. Not a really huge news week this week. There's a few things to talk about. The first one is that Legendary Pictures has confirmed there will be a sequel to this year's Dune movie. Apparently the film was very successful just coming out of the gate. So glad to hear that we're going to be getting a part 2. And according to the article, which comes from CBR, it is scheduled for an October 2023 release. And this one will actually be exclusive to theaters, unlike the one that's out right now, which was in theaters and also on HBO Max. Yeah, Ashley and Brandy, you haven't seen Dune yet. I actually went and saw it Friday night, and I enjoyed it. I've never actually read the novel, but I've read like synopsises of the novel and like abridged versions of it. Not limited to, but including comic books and graphic novels, that sort of thing. I've read those. So I got a pretty good idea what it's supposed to be about. I did watch the 1984 Dune movie as well, back probably about the time it came out, actually. And it was kind of weird. You know, you've got David Lynch at the helm there directing. So you can just imagine what that's going to be like. So this new one in 2021 that just came out, nothing like the David Lynch version, if you have seen that one. But yeah, I enjoyed it. And I am looking forward to seeing the rest of it when it comes out. And that looks like it's October 2023. Another piece of news that I have is Star Wars related, and even more specific, related to, let's see, Ashley Marie said, neither have I. Is that a must before watching? I'm going to assume that you are referring to the novel. But like I said, I didn't read it, and I was fine. I was able to follow what's going on. I do plan on reading the novel. I was actually planning on reading it before this movie came out, but I never got around to it. Looks like we lost DJ. In any case, the second piece of news that I have is regarding The Mandalorian, and a bit of disappointing news is that Sasha Banks has confirmed that she is not going to be returning for season 3 of The Mandalorian, so we are not going to get Casca Reeves in that new season. I'm going to assume we're still going to get Bo-Katan, but like I said, it does not appear that we are going to get Casca Reeves in the new season, which, as we mentioned last week, it has been confirmed that they started filming. Hey, Rural Farm Boy in the house. How's it going today, RFB? Good to see you. DJ, can you hear me yet? He's having some technical issues.
I'm trying. It's cutting in and out. We're getting some severe wind. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but yeah, we just have this massive windstorm hit.
Oh, wow. Well, DJ, have you seen the
I'm actually
movie
sitting in
Dune
the car,
yet?
and visibility is pretty crappy.
Yeah.
I did see it, yes.
Okay. So I don't know if you were able to hear me, but the first piece of news that I talked about
So yeah,
is
I
that
did.
Okay. So yeah, the sequel's been confirmed, so that's good. The last piece of news I have is actually a rumor.
All
right. So Ashley Brandy says, I really liked Sasha's character, but she did say previously that she is only going to be one episode and she was in the finale. So, yeah, I mean, I'd like to see her in it. She did a good job along with Bo-Katan. I think, yeah, the interview that I read, it was an interview that she did, and she said that she's not going to be in it. So considering that they are already filming, I imagine I don't know, maybe she's teasing, but I don't know. I get the impression from the interview that she is not going to be in it. In any case, the last piece of news that I have is actually a rumor, like I mentioned. And the rumor mill is mentioning that Hayden Christensen is going to be appearing in the Ahsoka live action series along with Rosario Dawson. According to this rumor, which comes from Bleeding Cool, so, take it for what it's worth. She will be engaging with her former mentor via flashbacks and Force Ghost appearances. So that will be interesting to see if that is true, if that's not a rumor, if that's actually real stuff. So that'd be cool. Yeah, RFB Book of Boba Fett. She could show up in that. That would not surprise me. The interview didn't say anything about that show specifically. But like you said, we will see. We will see. All right. I don't think I don't know if DJ is back up and running yet or not. But
I think I'm almost set. Just give me a few more minutes. Talks amongst yourself.
So, all right. So, a couple of you folks in the chat did not mention your favorite horror movies. So, if you want to chime in with those, we can talk about those later in the show. But we do have our vampire and zombies discussion to talk about. Tell you what, I am going to go old school here and try to play a song while we wait for DJ to get up and running. Let's see what I can find here. Bear with me one moment, folks. Been a while since I've done this, so let me see if I can get this working here.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. I'm trying to find a spot in this auditorium where I can hijack their Wi-Fi.
I'm just trying to get a song playing here, but I can't. It's been a while since I've done this, so I don't remember how to get it to work. It's been a long time since we have played a song on this podcast. But okay, I think I got it. Let's give this a shot, and hopefully you will be working when we get back. This is the Staggers with Last Man on Earth. And let's hope this actually works.
My dreams have stopped forsaking me, though I don't blame you at all. I am the last man on earth. I am the last of my kind. I am the last man on earth. I am the last of our kind. Well, I see photographs of days gone by, lost years. Well, it seems like a dream I had wanted yet it's torture. There's nothing left to share through the eyes of others. There's no laughter. So God take me now from this lonely existence. But please, I am the last man on earth. Whoa, whoa. I am the last of our kind. I am the last man on earth. Whoa, whoa. I am the last of our kind. I am the last man on earth. Whoa, whoa. I am the last man on earth.
Right, that little surprise was the Staggers with Last Man on Earth. That is dedicated to the family of Billy Blatz, who was the guitar player of that band, who unfortunately recently passed away a few weeks ago. Our thoughts go out to his family. From what I understand, it was quite sudden. Right. Oh, look like we've got we've got Lunar Girl in the chat. Welcome back. And we also have Dragon Buddy in the chat with us. Thanks for joining the chat. DJ, are you there? Can you hear me okay?
So. I can hear you just fine. I think it's my connection that's the problem.
Well, I was able to hear you just now, so I think maybe maybe this might be working. We might have a little bit of a delay, though.
Not a problem. We'll make it work.
Okay. So I think the undead and the gremlins have attacked DJ on this Halloween special.
I'm hoping it gets resolved quickly.
All right, well, let's jump in and start talking about some vampires and zombies. Why don't we start off with vampires? Kind of split these up a bit. And,
good choice.
So I guess the idea that we talked about, we're going to discuss some of our favorite media representations of vampires and zombies. So be it movies or TV shows or video games, books, comic books, however you want to do that. So if you want to kick things off with one of your favorite vampire movies, books, whatever you want to call it.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So this one that I picked is both a comic and a movie, and giving our pop culture resume, it fits in quite nicely with that, as it is a Marvel production, and that is the movie Blade, or the comic book Blade.
Oh,
so
wow.
We have a daywalker. Did you forget about that one?
I did forget about that one. Man, that was a good one. I really liked the back from the movie. You know, I didn't read the comic book all that much, strangely enough, but from the movie, at least the first one, I really liked the vampire backstory.
Yes, yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was very engaging, right from the very start. At least the first one. We won't talk about the sequels as much, but for all the bells and whistles, it was very well done. I liked the way that they portrayed a daywalker. and his origin. The music was absolutely fantastic. It really fit in with the music of the day as well. Lots of raves going on in that period of time. Uh, I went to several of them. In fact, one of my favorite places to attend was a place called Club Hell, and they played very similar type of music, and it was very moody. I mean, there were no blood showers, but that's okay. We stayed dry, and we had a lot of fun. But yeah, it was a really good, well done comic book adaptation.
Yeah, like you said, I really liked the first one. The sequels were kind of meh, uh, but I think they're doing a reboot in the MCU, if I'm not mistaken. So it will be
Yes,
interesting.
they definitely are doing a reboot of that.
Be interesting to see how the MCU does that. My first, actually, before I get into mine, those of you that are in the chat, why don't you chime in with what your favorite vampire movie, TV show, book, or comic book is? But my first one, the first one on my list about vampires, is a movie. It's actually a movie series. And it's probably my favorite representation of vampires on the big screen. And the film series that I'm referring to is Underworld. So there were 5 of those.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So there were 5 of those.
Were there that many?
Yeah. There was the original one, and then they had the sequel, Evolution, and then after Evolution was the prequel, Rise of the Lycans, and then they had Awakening and Blood Wars, and a lot of people didn't care too much for Awakening and Blood Wars, but I really enjoyed them. I thought they were like, I just liked the continuing story of Celine and the whole the whole backstory of that vampire family with the clans and whatnot. Now Kate Beckinsale has said that she's not.
You could have stopped with Celine.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, those are my favorite vampire movies, and I wouldn't mind seeing more, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think there was an animated film, kind of a short one that was put out in 2011 called Endless War. And I haven't seen that one, but I do want to see that one. But I've seen all 5. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I've seen all of them in the theater. That series was always kind of me and my oldest daughter's thing. Like, we would go out to the theater and watch that. When a new one came out. I don't remember why that one specifically, but yeah, that was a good vampire film series. We lost DJ again, but that's okay, because I'm going to go over and talk to talk on some of your responses here. Yeah, you got a couple of responses here. Lunar Girl, what's really funny. So Lunar Girl said her favorite is Dracula Dead and Loving It with Leslie Nielsen. Um, I find that funny because I have a very long list of vampire
Oh
that I
my, that's
wanted to
amazing.
talk about, and I made a long list just in case DJ talked about one that's on my list, so that I'd have backups. And Dead and Loving It actually was one of my backups because I thought that movie was hilarious. Um, Spencer's in the chat. We're gonna get to zombie movies later. Right now, we're kind of specific to vampires, but I'll keep that one in mind. RFB mentioned what is it? War of the Worlds. Martians maybe like vampires. Huh? I never thought of it that way. Dragon Buddy said Vampire in Brooklyn. I am actually not familiar with that one.
Eddie Murphy
Leo?
movie. That's an Eddie Murphy one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never saw that one. Lunar Girl has another favorite. Okay, one of them was favorite comedy vampire movie. The other one's favorite vampire drama, and that would be Interview with a Vampire. That's actually my youngest daughter's favorite vampire movie. So yeah, those are some good choices. What's next on your list, DJ? Hello? I think we lost you again.
Again, so
Hey, 97
I'm
Bravo is in the
I'm
house.
trying.
Welcome to the chat.
Maybe if I hold one arm out and one leg up.
So 97 Bravo mentioned his favorite as being Underworld,
All
which
right,
we
can you hear me now?
talked about. So that's cool that's one of his favorites too. Yeah, Dragon Buddy, I don't think him blinking twice if he can hear us is going to help because we don't have him on the screen. Yeah, Spencer, you really do need to watch Underworld. It's a pretty great film. I think they are on either HBO Max or Netflix. I know they're on one of them. Let's see if I can find the answers. Blood Wars is on Peacock. Oh, no, it's not. Yeah.
I'm trying.
Maybe it was on Amazon Prime. I don't know. It's on one of those streaming services. I'm sure you can find it. You should be able to find it, Spencer. It's on there somewhere. Okay, 97 Bravo has popped in and said that it is on HBO Max. All of them are on HBO Max. So yeah, catch all 5 of them when you have nothing better to do. Or Paramount Plus. Huh. I don't even know if I have Paramount Plus. I might. I know I have HBO Max, so I can watch them on there. I've seen them so many times. I don't need to go back and watch them right now. But I think I own most of them too. I think the only one I don't own a physical copy of is Blood Wars. DJ, you with us?
I'm trying here. Let me leave and come back. I'll try that.
Okay. Yeah, 97 Bravo. Blade was the first one that DJ mentioned at the top of the topic of discussion. That's another good one. At least the first one. I wasn't so terribly impressed with the sequels. 30 Days of Night, 97 Bravo just mentioned. Well, it sounds familiar, but I don't remember if I have seen it or not. I don't think I've seen it. It looks like that one might be on Amazon Prime. I don't know. It might be worth checking out. So that's I assume that's a good one there, 97 Bravo. Anyway, until DJ, we lost DJ again, so I'm just going to continue on with mine. The second one on my list is actually one that is now, okay, keep in mind that these aren't like in any order. Like I randomly put these on my list as I was thinking of them. So this is by no means like my second favorite vampire movie, but it is well, DJ's back, I think. You there, DJ? So just so you know, folks, for those of you that came in after the beginning,
we can try again.
What's that?
Perhaps.
I can hear you now. Or not. So yeah, I'll say in the second one that's on my list is a movie from 2014, and it was called Dracula Untold, and it was kind of a it's kind of a historic, almost like if Dracula was real. This would be kind of the biopic of Dracula. Dracula was played by Luke Evans, who plays the historical representation of who became known as Dracula, and that would be Vlad the Impaler, who is a prince in the kind of the Balkan region of Europe, and to save his family from the incoming his enemies, who is the army of the Sultan. He agrees to basically become a vampire, who's he takes the blood of the vampire who is I guess currently the only vampire, and he was played by, oh man, I cannot think of his name, but he is a fairly famous actor, I think. Oh, what is his name? Charles Dance. Charles Dance is the one that plays the original vampire, basically the one who turns Vlad the Impaler into a vampire. Any of you folks seen that one?
Can you hear me?
Dracula. I can.
Hooray!
So I've been talking about Dracula Untold.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay. It was put out in 2014, as I said, and it's kind of more a movie about the historical characterization of the man who would become known as Dracula. And so he plays Vlad. What was his name? I just mentioned it. Luke Evans plays Vlad, who becomes a vampire so he can protect his family against the Ottoman Empire, who is attacking his homeland. And it's a pretty interesting film. I liked it. It got mixed reception or mixed reviews from critics and whatnot. But yeah, I went and saw that one in the theater, and I really enjoyed it. It did not get a whole lot of love. I don't think I seriously doubt that they're planning any sort of sequel, even though the movie kind of ended on a note where it seems like there could be a sequel.
Interesting. I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah. So what's next on your list?
So the next one I had on my list was Bram Stoker's Dracula, with Keanu Reeves, Gary Oldman playing Vlad. Anthony Hopkins was in it. Winona Ryder. I believe that was around 1995, 96, I believe. The music for it was absolutely amazing. I don't know. I really thought Gary Oldman played a very good Dracula. Just that dark and seriousness that's there. What is Harker, but yeah, right. Of course, Winona Ryder and her hate. What's not there. But yeah, they told the story. I really enjoyed the pacing of it, the action. Yeah, it's probably one of my top 3.
Yeah, it's a good one. It was on my list, so I get to go to one of my backups. That was 1992. Gary Oldman, yeah, he played Count Dracula. Now, Gary Oldman is actually one of my favorite actors of any movie genre. But yeah, the cast on this one was incredible. And Gary Oldman as Dracula, he did that really well. I thought that was a great role. But yeah, very stacked cast, you might call it. Other than Gary Oldman, you had, like you said, Winona Ryder, Anthony Hopkins, Keanu Reeves, Richard Grant was in it, Carrie Ewells, Tom Waits actually played Renfield. So yeah, that's a good one. Looks like Lunar Girl agrees. She said that was a good one, DJ. So I've already done 2. So why don't you go ahead and finish us up with the vampire category, and tell me about your third, the third one on your list for vampires. Spencer says Bram Stoker's Dracula is my favorite.
Sure, absolutely. So my third one that I picked, I believe has already been mentioned in the chat.
I think we lost DJ again. Well, I'm going to go ahead and oh, we lost him again. Yeah, the Jaw. You're right, Lunar Girl. The Jawas got DJ again. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into my last one, and this one going off the reservation a little bit. This one is actually not a movie. It is a comic book series. It's not Marvel. It was put out by Vertigo Comics, which is a subsidiary of DC Comics. And it was written by, if you might be familiar with the name, his name is Scott Snyder. And it most of it was illustrated by Raphael Albuquerque. But the name of the comic book series was American Vampire. And so basically it kind of gets into, more background of vampires. Talks about vampires as a kind of a secret species, and it kind of goes through the evolution of vampires throughout history. Now the focus, like the main premise, is about a new bloodline of vampires that, as the title of the series explains, it's from America, and it kind of takes place mostly in the western section of the United States in the late 19th century, and just kind of starts off with kind of a cowboy vibe. And I haven't actually read the entire story. There were only 34 issues. And there is a few collected editions. So I want to say there were only 34 issues, but I could be wrong. There might have been more than that. Actually, 34 might have been like the first volume, and they had several volumes, but they've got 9 collected editions. And there's also an omnibus, which, if you're going to read that story, I would just go with the omnibus. I've been trying to track it down locally, but I may just end up buying it on Amazon. I don't know. But yeah, American Vampire is a pretty interesting comic book series. If you like Scott Snyder, who most well known for doing the New 52 era of Batman. I say mostly well known, but he's done a lot of other stuff. He did the Dark Knight's Metal and the Dark Knight's Death Metal series. And in fact, actually, he wrote a comic book that we talked about last week on the show, where we talked about the show or the comic book Noctera. He wrote that one as well. Looking through the chat here, yeah, Spencer, Scott Snyder is a great writer. You definitely should check that one out. It's definitely worth checking out. Let's see what we got here. DJ said his third choice was Interview with a Vampire. So that was one that was mentioned in the chat, and that's a good one. Like I had said, that's one I think is my youngest daughter's favorite. And then what do we got here? I'm reading here. Yeah, okay. So Spencer wants a link to the omnibus. So I'm going to post that here as soon as I can find a good link to it. I'm going to try to find it on Amazon for you. And then I'll just post a picture of it. And Give me just one moment here. I'm going to pop it up here. And so if you can see that, looks like the hardcover is about $124. So, yeah. Looks like Megan is in the chat with us too. Likes my background. Thank you. There's the link to the omnibus if you can see that one. And thanks everybody in the chat for enjoying the coming in and talking vampires with me. This is a really strange episode so far with all the technical issues that DJ seems to be having, and that's all right though. We're gonna move on. We're gonna soldier on here. So that is it for our vampire discussion. And like RFB said in here, if you're on the watching us on YouTube, make sure you bust that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Spencer says he just bought the first volume of Snyder's Batman. Spencer, are you referring to the Court of Owls? If you are, because the Court of Owls was probably the best thing that DC's New 52. I don't know if you want to call that a series, but it was kind of they New 52 was kind of a reboot of the DC universe, but most of it was honestly kind of crap. But the Court of Owls series was really done well. Scott Snyder wrote that one, and it was pretty amazing. So DJ said that the book was a lot better, but the movie was real good. I am going to take a guess and say he's talking about Interview with a Vampire. Another book that I have not read, but I did see the movie. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Spencer says he bought the Batman New 52 Omnibus and had the first 33 issues and two annuals. I knew what you meant. Spencer. Omnibus. But yeah, that's the Court of Owls storyline, which was a pretty amazing storyline. So DJ, you said you sent that 5 minutes ago, but I'm showing that I only got it a minute ago. That's very odd. Yeah, Court of Owls was the first arc of that of the Batman series by Scott Snyder. Really good one. Okay, I guess we're going to jump into zombies. So moving forward, let's hear from you guys in the chat your favorite zombie representations in media / pop culture. So it could be a movie, TV show, a cartoon, a video game, a book, a comic book, whatever you want it to be. And I will go ahead and start off with mine. I actually have not watched very many zombie movies, so a lot of my stuff is going to be outside the movie field. Dragon Buddy, Dawn of the Dead. That's a very popular zombie one. I actually don't think I've seen that one. I think I've seen it. Seems like I should have. Jumping back into the Batman discussion. 97 Bravo says Court of Owls is a great backstory. It is. It's one of the one of the better things that Scott Snyder has done, in my opinion. DJ says his favorite zombie movie is World War Z. That was a good one. 97 Bravo says 28 Days Later. That was a good one. I liked that one. Lunar Girl said she loved Dawn of the Dead. Let's see. DJ is asking, what was that? The Romero one. Guessing he's talking about Dawn of the Dead. Army, okay, according to 97 Bravo, Army of the Dead was ridiculous fun. I have not seen that, but I actually saw it come across, I think it was at HBO Max, and thought about watching it, but didn't get around to it. Spencer has has one I've never even heard of. Train to Busan. I've not heard that one. He also says that he liked Zombieland, and I'm seeing a lot of Walking Dead in here, which actually is one of them that's on my list, and mostly referring to the comic book. Army of the Dead is on Netflix. Thank you for correcting me. I've got so many streaming service. I have I can't keep them all straight. Now, what was I talking about? Walking Dead. Yeah. Comic book is the one mostly that I'm referring to. I did watch some of the TV show and I did enjoy it. I actually I have not watched all of it, and I'm not even nearly caught up. I think I'm probably back maybe like season 5, possibly. So I'm nowhere near being caught up on that one. But yeah, the comic book, Walking Dead is really good. So Lunar Girl says she has 4 compendiums of The Walking Dead. I actually only have the first one, the first compendium. But I've read some of the single issues from years back. So that was a good comic series. I don't think DJ's coming back, but we're going to continue. Let's go ahead and go with something really out of the norm, and this is a video game that has to do with zombies, and I'm not sure if any of you have heard of this game, and I'm not referring to anything that's one of the more popular zombie video games. This one, though, is called Plants vs. Zombies. It's kind of a comedic play on zombies. If you saw the artwork for this episode out there on Twitter, the little zombie is actually from that video game, and it's kind of comedic, and it's you're basically playing the owner of this house, and you're trying to defend your house from the zombie attacks with different types of plants that shoot at the zombies, and it's kind of childish, but it's still really fun. DJ said, it keeps kicking me out before I can even log in. That is very disappointing. Okay. I'm trying to read through our so DJ's first one was World War Z, and his second one was Shaun of the Dead. So yeah, I have seen that one. That's a good one. Lunar Girl says, how can we leave out the one that started it all? I agree. How many remakes has that one had? I have actually seen the only one that I have seen, strangely enough, is the original, the 1968 George Romero version of Night of the Living Dead. I'm trying to look in here and see how many reboots have there been. Let's see if I can find something that mentions the reboots. Have there been any reboots? I could have swore there had been some reboots. There was one in 1990, I think. I keep thinking that there's been more than one reboot, maybe not. But yeah, I've only seen the first, the 1968 one. 97 Bravo likes the video game Left 4 Dead. I actually have not played that. I've seen it, and I don't even remember where I've seen it. I've seen it. I've probably seen trailers, or there's like multiple. It's not like just one. There's not just one video game. I think it's like a series that's had several. Several like sequels, or possibly just one. I don't know. But yeah, that's if you're recommending that one, that might be a good one to see, a good one to play around with. He's also mentioning Zombies Ate My Neighbors from the Super NES. I don't have a Super NES, so I don't know how I'm going to play that one. I've got a Switch, so maybe they'll reboot that one for the Switch. Spencer says he knows all about Plants vs. Zombies. Yeah, that's a fun one. I really like that one. Little Girl is mentioning Resident Evil, but not the movies. Actually have not seen any of the movies, strangely enough. Well, since we're just kind of free floating this one here, I'm just going to start mentioning some other ones that I kind of liked. Of course, it's been mentioned in the chat, but somebody mentioned Zombieland. That's a really good one as far as zombie movies go. I have not seen the sequel. I keep meaning to get around to it, but Zombieland Double Tap. Haven't seen that one yet. I'm just going through my list and looking at what we got here. I Am Legend was a good one. I think somebody mentioned that one in the chat earlier. I Am Legend I thought was a good film. I'm not sure if that you can really consider that zombies, but pretty close enough. Yeah, the online Plants vs. Zombie games are super fun. Yes, they are. Yeah, I actually started playing that one, man, well over 10 years ago. I found it I was living up in Seattle, and I found it at a Fry's Electronics for my PC. And that's how I started playing it. And now you can basically play it on your phone, which of course I have done. I'm trying to remember when that movie first came out. I I was playing it probably back in probably back in 2009. At least, if I can remember. Actually, I've just found it on Wikipedia. That's when it came out. It came out in 2009. There's also a version for, like I'm playing it on my PlayStation. It's like Garden Warfare, and it's a little bit different than the traditional Plants vs. Zombie games. But that one's fun too. It's fun to play that with 2-player, because that one you can have 2 players playing at the same time. So that's fun. Let's see what else we got here in the chat. Yeah. Spencer says the best zombie movie is Train to Busan. That's the second time somebody's mentioned that, and I've never heard of it. Hey, Nicole is in the chat. Hey, Nicole, how are you doing? Hope everything is well. And Nicole says that it's the ghosts that keep kicking you out. And yeah, I would have to agree. It's probably the online vampires and zombies that are keeping him from being on the show. So that was pretty much it for zombies. What do we have next? Oh, we can do our favorite. So, okay, so this was supposed to be a top 5 list where I took everybody's favorite horror movies, kind of like we did last week with the baseball movies, and we compiled everybody's votes and picked the top 5 vote recipients. But as I was compiling the results, the submissions from everybody on this one, I didn't get any duplicates. So everybody got one vote. So I'm going to go ahead and close things out here with our favorite horror movies as voted on by the listeners. So what we have here is somebody put 2 votes, and Boo World Order mentioned the 1978 version of Halloween. The next one on the list is Event Horizon, which was chosen by Blood Baron of the Bifrost. Spencer chose The Shining. And my co-host over at Around the Ring, my wrestling podcast, his name is Justin. He voted on Phantasm. My friend over on Twitter, Punk Rock Anthro, chose The Exorcist. The Mandalorian chose Underworld. Very good choice there, A Mandalorian. John Blanks chose House of Wax. Well, while I'm continuing this list, should have mentioned this before I started the list. Everybody in the chat, go ahead and chime off with your favorite horror movie. Doesn't have to be vampires, doesn't have to be zombies. It could be any kind of horror movie. Just let me know what your favorite horror movie is. Some of you may have already voted in the poll, so no, not necessary to do it again. John Blanks voted on House of Wax. Roe, our Red 5 network partner, chose Friday the 13th. Lunar Girl, you had 2 on here, so I'm going to go with the first one I saw, which is Beetlejuice. Of course, now in the chat she's saying It. So that's your third. Oh, nope, It was the other one that you chose. So I'm gonna say that It is your favorite horror movie, since you have mentioned that one twice. And DJ actually voted on that one as well. And his favorite horror movie is Poltergeist. RFB, I don't think Starship Troopers counts as a horror movie, but sure, go with it. Spencer, let's see. Lunar Girl says that she can't decide. I don't think it has anything to do with your gender, because I have problems making decisions as well. Nicole's got a few. Bride of Frankenstein, The Birds, Halloween, and It. Dragon Buddy says, I think it's a documentary. I hope you're not talking about Starship Troopers. That's kind of disturbing. But yeah, Spencer, some people actually do consider Alien to be a horror movie. I'm kind of with you on that one. I see it more as sci-fi than horror, but I do see it on a lot of horror movie lists, like best of type things. But yeah, I'm thinking that's more sci-fi than horror. And that was all of the votes that I got. So I want to thank everybody for joining me in the chat tonight, especially tonight. Really helping them out here. And thanks for listening to the episode despite all the technical difficulties. And I have no idea what we're going to be doing next week. Haven't really talked about it, but we'd be sure to let you know on Twitter. In case you did not know, we are a member of the Red 5 Network. If you want to check out some more amazing podcasts, just go to red5network.com. If you want to follow us on the Twitter and the Instagram, just go to ROGUE1 RADIO. It's Rogue, the numeral 1 radio. That's both on Twitter and Instagram. And as I mentioned earlier, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and bash that like button. That is it for us tonight. And hope to see you next week. Take care.